channel. So today I am doing a paint by numbers. I've had this little craft kit for quite a while now and I've been wanting to get into it and try it and see what all the fuss is about and try out this paint by numbers. So let's get into it. So here's the kit. Let's unbox this now and see what we're working with. So it appears these actually aren't properly labeled. They are labeled on the packaging, as you can see, but once we take them out we can't really tell what they are, which is a little bit of a bummer, but to be honest I do have some little labels that I can stick on them so that we can tell what the colors are. So let's do that now before we actually get into it. So that's number one, and it appears to go like that. So that these are actually labeled and I can take them out. Let's take them out. So here is the kit, and it appears we actually have a test sheet to practice on, separate to the actual board that we're supposed to paint on. That's actually a bit dirty, that's annoying. But anyways, this is really cool because before we dive into this, we're actually going to do a little bit of a practice and just see how the paint goes, maybe swatch the colors, and yeah, that should be pretty good, should be pretty useful. Now let's try this number 8 here. We're just going to use a little bit of this. Now this one doesn't seem to be as opaque, so we might have to sort of layer it up a little bit over where that letter is, but not too bad. Now we're going to try and mix a color here, so we're going to mix this sort of 12 to 1. So let's get 12 and 1, and that basically will give us a lighter shade of that sort of lilac-y purple color. And yeah, let's test it out. So here is a lighter shade of that purple color, which is what this part of the drawing should be. And yeah, that looks pretty nice. So we've tested this out a little bit, we've tried the quality of the paint, we've looked at a couple of the colors, not all of them because I don't want to be here all day. So now we're just going to go in and start on the painting itself. So now that we've mixed a little bit of this 12 to 1 sort of paint, I'm actually going to start on that color itself, just because I don't want to waste what I've already mixed here. So let's mix up a little bit more of that color just so that we have enough for the areas. Okay, I've mixed in a good amount of that, and we're just adding a little extra water just to keep that nice and wet for a bit longer. And let's dive into the painting. So all of the areas that are 12-1, I'm going to color in this color here, and yeah, that's basically what a paint by numbers is. A little bit of extra paint over where that number is, just so that we can't see it. And yeah, now this section is filled in, I'm going to go over all of the other pieces which are 12-1, and we are going to fill them in as well. Okay, so now we've got all of that light purple done. We're going to go in and use this purple here, which is the number 12 without anything mixed in. I'm going to go in and do all of those sections as well. So now I think I've done all of the 12. We're actually going to wipe out this section of the palette, and we're going to mix a new color. So I'm seeing a lot of 8-1 here, so let's do that. That's this nice sort of creamy color mixed with a white. Let's grab some of that creamy color. Now that we've got some of that, clean off our brush and grab some of this white. Now when we mix these, we should have a nice sort of light peachy tone to paint those areas. And now we can start painting. And I'm going to drop the paintbrush and get paint literally everywhere. Okay, so most of that color is now done. I'm actually going to be switching brushes now because I feel like this brush is a little bit too big for all of these tiny small areas, and I feel like I would be able to get sort of better details with a thinner brush. So yeah, now we're going to go in with this number 8, which is a darker version of this right here, and we're gonna go and do all of those areas. I'm gonna use this brush for the small areas and this brush for the slightly thicker areas. Alright, let's do it. Time-lapse Sarah here. Sorry guys about that, but I quickly realized that this project was going to take a few hours, and I felt like if I talked throughout the whole thing, this video would probably be like half an hour to an hour long because I am a blabbermouth that doesn't know how to shut up. Anyways, so yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this project. I really enjoyed the paint by numbers. It felt very, very much like the diamond painting or a cross stitch that I have done. However, it didn't take as long as those other types of projects. And yeah, there is a few things that I liked and I didn't like about this project though. I'll start with the pros first. It was very fun, it was interesting. I liked how I could just sort of concentrate on filling in the gaps and not having to worry too much about colors or anything like that. It was kind of like a coloring page. It felt more like a coloring page than like an actual painting. So in that respect, I had a good amount of fun. Also, the price of this was very, very good. It was only about $8 at a local store at my mall. I saw it and I was like, oh my god, I want to try this out. I know what these are. So I ended up buying it. But a few things that I didn't like about it, mainly the paints. These aren't the best paints for the job, I feel. They're basically your run-of-the-mill cheap acrylics, which aren't actually horrible. They do look nice, however, some colors are a little bit more transparent than others, and the issue with that is I had to layer up the colors a fair bit in some areas to cover up the lines and the numbers. Now, this was an issue because a few of the colors towards the end of the project were running out, and because of that, I had to sort of pick different colors here and there to, replace that. I didn't end up having to dip into my actual acrylics. I was able to mix colors myself and get the colors that I needed, but that was a bit of a pain because, I felt like doing it that way, I didn't end up getting the exact same colors as on the image. Another thing I want to say though is some of the colors on the image are not as accurate to what you're mixing, because with some of these you sort of have to mix two colors together to get the right color for the part that you're painting, and I felt like one of them it was more of a pinkish red color instead of an orange color. It was turning out like that, and yeah, you can sort of change up the ratio of which colors you're mixing. However, you can't really get an orange out of a red and a white. It won't really work. But overall, I did have a lot of fun and I did like the results. Now, the results aren't beautiful. I really feel like if you stand back, it does look nice and looks cool, but if you sort of stand closer up, you can sort of tell that it's not the best. It's kind of one of those paintings, I guess. Yeah, and I did feel very strongly like if I just sort of did this as a painting instead of a paint by numbers, I probably could have gotten better results, but to be honest, this wasn't really sort of aimed at my sort of demographic. I feel like I'm an artist, so of course I'm going to be able to paint better. But I sort of still feel like if you picked up, you know, basic painting skills, you probably could get a painting similar or better. But you know what, it's a fun exercise and I had a lot of fun, and yeah, this was a really interesting experiment for me to do, and I really liked the results. So anyways, here's the final results, and I did enjoy this. It was pretty fun. I like trying different things, and at least trying things once, you know. It's a fun sort of experience. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please smash like and subscribe to get your scribble fix in the future, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone!